Hey there and welcome to your yoga class again. This is a quick 15-minute, a bit of a core blast for you. So we're going to start off lying down on our mat in Shavasana position. Now you can lie in your classic Shavasana, or if you would like to, you can put the soles of your feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana, and hands can go where they like. You can have them on your tummy, above your head, down by your side. And we're just going to have a few big deep breaths here just to start off. So we are staying here for about a minute, so a good 10 full breaths here. Nice big full breaths, just relaxing, centering yourself ready for your practice. So just starting to bring those knees up from whatever position you're in, and we're going to put our hands just behind our ears or in the back of your head. But what we're going to do is lift our head and shoulders off the mat whilst bringing our knees in together. And then we're going to exhale, let our knees go back out and bring our head back down. So don't wrench your head up. So inhaling, head and shoulders up, knees shut. Pausing and letting them all go back to the floor. And again, inhaling up, everything comes up. Exhaling, everything comes down. That's it. And if you're finding that a little bit challenging, you don't have to involve the legs in that. You can just do the top half. And now we're just going to lift our knees up so that your shins are parallel to the floor. And again, you'll feel this immediately on your abdomen straight away, so you can always keep your head and shoulders down, but if possible, crunching up, same as we did before. And then we're going to take turns with the legs, just pointing them and hovering them. Don't let them fall down. So left leg first, then your right leg, just doing this a few times on each side. And this can be quite challenging, as I say. We're doing it really nicely and slowly and controlled, so just keep going with the legs. On either side, slow and controlled, keeping that crunch on at the top. If it gets too much, of course, you can come back down. So coming back down, that was a good start. So we are going to come into bridge pose now. So those heels are about a foot length away from the bottom, and you're going to peel your spine off the floor. And if you want to, you can clasp your hands underneath your bottom if you want, and kind of scoot your shoulders under if you want a bit of a deeper bridge there. Other than that, you can just keep them on the floor. But knees aren't splaying out. You're keeping them hip width apart, the knees. Big toes on the floor as well. And gently just coming back down. And so now what we're going to do is you're going to take that left ankle, cross it over the right knee into sort of start of a reverse pigeon pose. Send that left knee away from you so you're opening up that left hip. Then we're going to come into a bridge pose from there. So if that's too much for you, just stay in the sort of start of the reclined pigeon pose. But just keeping that up there, switching on the glutes, switching on the core. It's obviously a lot harder than doing it with 2 feet on the ground, and keeping that foot over, coming into your full reverse pigeon. So again, if holding the knee, the back of the thigh like this is just a little bit much, you can always put the foot back down. You can also hold on to the shin as well, remember. But opening up those hips. Whilst we're down here, just relaxing, keeping the feet flexed. And remembering to just release around that hip joint. So coming down, we're going to do that again all on the other side just after we do a half happy baby pose. So right knee's kind of just splaying out there, hold on to the outside of your left foot, elbows on the inside of the knee, and pulling your leg down and out. Pausing here, feeling a lovely big hip opening. So let's do the same on the other side. This time the right ankle over the left knee, hands down beside you and coming up to that bridge pose, keeping that right knee out. And if that's too much for you, remember, just stay down in the hip opener instead. So pausing up here for a couple of breaths, feeling the core switching on, glutes switching on, and keeping that foot flat on the floor, pushing into the floor and pushing the hips up as much as you can. Then coming down again, coming into reclined pigeon pose. So the option is to keep the foot on the floor or hold on to the back of the thigh like I'm doing, keeping both the feet flexed, or you can hold on to the shin as before. And then just coming back down and doing that half happy baby. So right hand to the outside of the right foot, elbow to the inside. Now you can hold the back of the thigh here if maybe the foot isn't available to you. And just pulling the foot down gently and out to the side. Really lovely hip opener. And just with your left knee, just let it flopping out. You can really do whatever you want here, but it's a nice counterweight having it flopping out to the side like that. Feeling the nice big opening in the hip. So coming back down, we're going to roll up or whatever way you want to come up, coming on to your hands and your knees here. Get yourself nice and aligned, and we're going to take a couple of cat cows. So cat pose, back is pushing up to the ceiling, cow pose, tummy's pushing towards the floor. So exhaling on the way down, inhaling in the way up, and your shoulders, your arms and your legs don't really move. It's a torso movement that we're doing. Feel the spine going up and down, a lovely flexion and extension of the spine, and the toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever's comfortable for you. So come back to a neutral spine once you have done a few rounds at your own speed. And then we are going to lift our bottom up, then coming back, bringing our heels down. When I say heels down, they don't need to touch the floor. Pedaling it out if you want to. And also bending the knees if you need to as well. Okay, have a bit of a wriggle about. It's the first downward dog. So the left foot is going to come straight up in the air in a three-legged dog. And it's going to come into your nose. So knee to nose. And inhale, leg up. Curl the spine, bring the knee to the nose. And we'll do one more here. Leg straight up and then knee to the nose. Keep that knee there. And we're going to bring it forward between our hands. Back knee on the floor. And coming up to our high lunge. Heavy hips here. So watch that front knee above your ankle or just behind it. Heavy hips. Let that tailbone drop. Reaching up with your fingertips to the sky, lengthening the spine, feeling the lovely stretch in your hip flexors and your glutes. So both hands onto the floor here, stepping back to a plank and into a side plank. So you can do it here like with your hands up like this, or you can come down in your elbow, just like this, but hips are high regardless of which version you're going to do. Pausing there, then coming back in to a full plank, lowering to the floor, pausing maybe before you hit the floor, and coming up to a cobra, tucking the toes and then into a downward dog again. This time it's the turn of the right foot, knee to nose again. So inhaling in the way up, three-legged dog, knee to nose. Last one, inhaling, coming up, knee to nose, and then the foot forward. Okay, just remember to hit the knee to nose first. before putting the foot forward. So coming into the low lunge on the other side. Same rules on this side. And adjust your stance as you need to. If you feel you're not getting enough of a stretch or too much of a stretch, just adjust it as you need to. Heavy hips, dropping the tailbone, and you can look up or straight ahead. And we're going to come into that side plank again. So hands to the floor first, and if the side plank's too much as well, you can just come into a normal plank, with both legs. So side plank, hips up, arms straight, or coming down onto your side, onto your elbow. Hips are high no matter what. Feet can be stacked or staggered, it's up to you. You can look up or to the side. So just pausing there for a couple of breaths, feeling your body working hard, and coming back into full plank again and lowering to the floor, up to Cobra or up dog, tucking the toes straight up to a downward dog. So really feeling your downward dog, hands pushing the mat away, heels pushing toward the floor, they don't need to be on the floor, and remember it's okay to bend your knees as well. So just walk into your hands, feet hip width apart. We're going to come into a lovely ragdoll pose, so bend the knees as much as you can. This is about loosening and lengthening the spine. Nice loose head. Have a wriggle about if you want to as well. Then popping your hands onto the floor, bending your knees even more. Bringing your feet in together and coming up to chair pose. Hips and knees behind the toes, remember. Now just bend over, let your fingertips touch the floor, then see if you can hit that chair pose from that distance from the ground as well. If it's too hard, please do straighten your legs a little bit. Just an idea to help you maybe get lower into your chair pose. Back is nice and straight, don't bend your back. Protect that lower back, and you can look up or you can look straight ahead. Weight is in your heels for this one, so hands back to prayer position, and what we're going to do is lower down onto your bottom, straight up into Vasana, boat pose. So your shins are parallel to the floor and your toes are pointing. Now you can hold on to the back of your thighs as well at this point, but your chest is high. Okay, so hold on to the back of the thighs like that, and you can straighten your legs, of course, if you want to, with your hands in prayer position. But keep that chest up really high, really important to protect the lower back. You can put your hands up as well if you want, making it even harder. So just picking your variation and then coming down and crossing your legs and coming into staff pose, Dandasana. So toes are pointed to the ceiling, nice straight back, shoulders relaxed, thighs rolling in, and your core's pretty switched on here as well. So let's cross that left leg over the right leg, foot flat on the floor, and then you're going to hook that right elbow round to come into a twist. So lengthen first and then come round. So the left hand is on the floor. You can look behind or look to the side. So coming back round, let's do the other side. So right leg over the left this time. Get that back nice and straight. Hook the left elbow onto the knee, other hand behind you, and lengthen first, then twist. You can look behind you or look to the side. And if that elbow won't hook, don't worry about it. You can almost cuddle that knee with the left hand as well. Just pausing and feeling the twist. So coming back round again, let your legs out, give them a wee shake if that's what feels better. And then we're going to sit just for a second at the end of our practice, Relax your shoulders, take a moment just to check in with your body, and we're going to finish with a namaste. Thank you so much for joining me again for our core flow today, and we'll see you next time for another class.